Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you a new project that I've started working on, and it's something kind of new and kind of different and kind of fun. It's actually a new magazine for the retro computer community, and I'm going to share it with you today, at least what I've prepared on it so far. So let's take a look right now. And here it is on my screen here. It's called Retro Tech News, and it is going to be including topics that I consider to be retro tech for retro computers. So this would be systems that are before things like the Nintendo, before the PlayStation, before the Xbox. And this would include all sorts of computers that I consider to be retro, such as the Atari computers, the Commodore computers, TI-99 computer, Mattel Aquarius computer, Coleco Adam, of course all the Sinclair and Timex Sinclair line of computers, the ZX Spectrum Next computer, which is a new version of the retro Sinclair computer, of course, as well as some more obscure systems such as the ORIC computer and gaming systems such as the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, and any others that I happen to find cool and interesting, and that I find some interesting information about that I might like to share in the magazine. So you might be asking, why do we need another computer magazine? Well, we do have some great computer magazines available for us right now, which is fantastic in the retro community. But I thought, as you know, I like to put my own special touch on things. I like to put my own spin on different things. And so this magazine is going to have my own spin, my own special flavoring that I'm putting into it. And I hope it's going to be fun and interesting magazine. Now, I don't know how often I'm going to be creating this magazine, how many issues I'm going to make. This might be the only issue that I ever end up making, for all I know. I don't know. And I'm not sure how I'm going to actually offer it for people to read, if it's going to be available as a physical copy, or if it's just going to be strictly digital downloads, or some combination of the two. But let's take a look at my first issue that I'm working on. And it's not finished yet, but let's just take a look at what I've done so far. So here you can see on my screen, this is the cover. Well, it's actually the front cover and the back cover combined because of the way the program lays it out here. I'm actually using a program called Inkscape to do my designing because it's super easy to use, and it's great because all these different visual elements here you can see are actually different individual unique items that I can manipulate and move around on their own. So you can see here I can move these titles around, I can move the images around, and I can create text box like this little one here, and everything is controllable independently, which is perfect for making any sort of printed document like this. So first of all, let's just take a look at what I've done so far with issue number 1 of Retro Tech News. And I'm just going to switch to my other screen where I have multiple pages open here, and we can take a look. So you've already seen the front cover, which is this. You can see the title here, and over here you might notice a warning about strong language because my articles might have some strong-ish language included, so I just want to put that warning there in case anyone might have kids that might get a hold of this magazine, although I'm sure the kids these days are using language much stronger than I ever use. But anyway, so here's the cover of the magazine, and this first issue is titled Everything Old is New Again, and the main cover story is going to be featuring my experience using old computers, such as my first computer, which was a Timex Sinclair 1000 here, and my latest computer, which is the ZX Spectrum Next. So I'll kind of be comparing and contrasting my experiences using those two computers. I'm not sure exactly what the story will include yet because I haven't written the article yet. But anyway, this is the cover photo for that story. And here is the back cover of the magazine, which is an ad for my Dungeon Quest game that I made for the Mattel Aquarius computer recently. And let's take a look at some of the other pages that I've begun working on. So the back of the cover will have a greeting from myself, kind of an introduction to what this magazine is all about. And then this is the back page of the magazine here, where I've got some links to some different websites and my YouTube channel and other interesting links that you might want to take a look at to learn more information about the projects that I work on. And here is a little sneak preview of a cartoon that I made for this magazine, so you can take a look at that if you want. And so I like to insert some fun into the magazine and something unexpected, and just to make it interesting. So let's take a look at some of the other pages I've got in the works here. Here I've got a puzzle corner that I'm working on, where we have a retro crossword that has questions about the retro computing hobby, that you can read the questions and fill in the answers there. Here's a retro jumble, and the answers are down at the bottom here. And this is a table of contents for the magazine. This is not finished yet, it's just kind of a sample. So these topics will change by the time the magazine is printed. These are just kind of placeholders for now. And let's see what else we have. So the cover tape. So one interesting thing, I think it's interesting, about my magazine is I wanted to include, or I thought it would be cool to have a cover tape, just like magazines used to have back in the day. So my first cover tape is actually something I think is kind of interesting. And if you are familiar with the Timex Sinclair 1000 game Fortress of Zorlak, this is, I think, probably a quite popular game that most people in the retro community would be familiar with. And what I'm doing for my cover tape for the first magazine is I'm doing a kind of a revision of this game for the Mattel Aquarius computer. So I thought that would be kind of cool to not really port the game to the Aquarius, but it's actually my own version of the game that's going to be played on the Aquarius. And it's going to be made available in a cassette tape like this. This one is just a black and white sample, but it's called Zorlak's Revenge, and it's going to be available in a cassette tape like this. But the actual game itself is going to be on a USB stick that I'm going to include in the cassette tape enclosure. But I thought it would be kind of neat to sort of reproduce the original Fortress of Zorlak packaging, but made for my new version of the game. So here we have a description of the cover tape game that I'm including. This one is called Zorlak's Revenge, as I just mentioned, and the title here says Zorlak's Back. And it says, after 40 years in exile, your familiar foe has emerged from the depth of space to settle the score. Returning with a partially rebuilt indestructible fortress, your only hope of defeating the menacing alien Zorlak is to hit him square in the family jewels. But don't expect him to just stand by and take it. So here you can see a sample screen of the game here. It looks somewhat similar to the original Zorlak game, but it's turned sideways with Zorlak at the top and your spaceship at the bottom. And it's going to have a couple interesting little twists in the gameplay. If you can see here, you probably can't see, but there's two types of projectiles here being shot down by Zorlak's fortress. There's these clear ones here and the solid ones. The solid ones I'm going to have drop straight down, and the clear ones are going to kind of move randomly as they float down towards you. So I think that'll add an extra little interesting twist to the gameplay. But I haven't actually finished making this game yet, so that's my next project I need to complete while I'm working on the magazine. So let's continue on here with the last sheet that I have. You can see this sheet here is still blank on half of it, so I have to fill that in. And finally, in the center of the magazine, I want to have a cool picture that takes advantage of the center page of the magazine, since that's the one that you can fold out completely and you have a solid full sheet to work with. Here I have the amazing TS1000. It's kind of like a fake ad for the TS1000, and I've put a little text box here with some photos of the accessories and included what I think are hopefully kind of funny descriptions of the computer, such as RF video jack, easily connect to any modern black and white television for amazingly crystal fuzzy images. So that's just something fun I'm going to add to the center of the magazine. And the cover story, which is this contrast between the Timex Sinclair 1000 and the ZX Spectrum Next. I still have to write the cover story, so far this is what I have done for the magazine, and I just wanted to share with you what I'm working on, and I'll let you know how it's going to be made available. But so far this is as far as I've gotten, and I think what I'm going to do is pause the video here, and then I'll add on another clip at the end to show you once I've got the actual physical version of the magazine completed. So stick around, and there should be more to come. Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, I guess you just saw me in the first half of this video. So we're continuing on now with the video about the magazine that I've been working on. And I just realized it's actually been about 3 months since I filmed the first half of this video, which is incredible. But it's been a lot of work, and the magazine is finally finished. So I'll show it to you now. And here it is, Retro Tech News. It's all printed up, and it comes with the cover tape that I mentioned in the first half of this video. And I think it came out really well. And I'm just going to show you a bit of it now. So here it is, Retro Tech News, issue number 1. And like I said, it was a lot of work, but it came out really nicely, and it comes with, I'll just show you this first. I've decided to include a poster for the cover tape of the game, which is called Zorlak's Revenge. And this poster is actually the introductory splash screen that you see when you play the game. And I'll put a video of the game in this part of the video a bit later as well. But this graphic was done for me by Sean Harrington, who, if you're a member of the Aquarius Facebook group, or now the Aquarius Plus Facebook group, Sean is well known there, and he actually did the graphics for this game for me, which is fantastic. So thanks very much, Sean, for contributing to the game. The graphics are a heck of a lot better now that Sean did them instead of me, as you'll see a bit later. Comparing my original version of the game to the new version, it looks a lot better. So thanks again, Sean, for that. And okay, so here's the magazine. Same cover as before. It's now completed though. And you can see we have the cover story, which is me talking about my journey with personal computers, beginning with the Timex Sinclair 1000 up to my latest computer. Well, almost my latest computer, which at the time I wrote this, my latest computer was the ZX Spectrum Next, but my latest computer now is the Aquarius Plus, which is a fantastic computer. If you saw my previous video that I talked about the Aquarius Plus, you can learn more about it there, or you can head over to the Aquarius Plus Facebook group. If you're at all interested in new versions of retro vintage computers, then I highly recommend you check out the Aquarius Plus. It's a very exciting platform. It has all kinds of cool features and capabilities, and its potential is really excellent for game development. So go and check out that video if you like. It's a nice compact little design, and I think it could be a really exciting platform for game development, as I'll find out in the near future as I start developing games for it. So anyway, back to the magazine. Here is the magazine, and the cover talks about a few of the articles we have inside. We have the cover story, as I just mentioned. We have a member profile, which is kind of a printed excerpt of the interview I did with Wayne Retro Robbins. You may have seen my video about that on my channel as well. I did an interview with him recently. As well as we have an article submission by Matt Pills, which is a fantastic article, very interesting article about the Panasonic HHC briefcase computer, which is really cool. And then on the back cover we have an ad for my Dungeon Quest game. Oh, and you can see up here I have a couple new posters. So this is the poster that comes with the magazine. It's the Zorlak's Revenge poster I just showed you, as well as here is the cover for the magazine. So on the inside we now have of course a completed table of contents, and you can see all the different articles and sections that are in this magazine. There are some articles, and there's a game review, and of course there's Matt's article and the interview and some fun puzzles at the back. And I showed a preview of this in the first part of this video as well. This is now completed, the center fold of the magazine with the TS1000. So here we have the interview with Retro Robbins. We have an updated version of the cover tape description. As you can see, the graphics are a bit different than they were in the first half of this video. They now have color and some updated graphics, very generously provided by Sean Harrington. So the game looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. So this is one of the games that is included on the cover tape with the magazine. And I'll get to the cover tape in a second, but first I'll just do a quick preview of what's in the magazine. So here we have a game review of a homebrew game for the ZX Spectrum Next called Knights and Chalices. I did a video review of that on my channel as well. Here we have an article. Here we have an introduction to a type-in program that is included with the magazine. So I actually created a type-in game for this magazine as well, and I'll show a preview of that gameplay a bit later in the video as well. So here we have the cover article. It's all done finally. From the TS1000 to the ZX Spectrum Next, the legend lives on, and we have pictures of my actual computers that I have in my collection that I grew up using, my TS1000, my 2068, and now the ZX Spectrum Next computer here. What else? Oh, here is Matt's article about the Panasonic HHC briefcase computer. Very interesting article. I never even heard of this computer before, but it's really cool. He actually, here you can see there's a picture. Well, you can't see it too well, but if you get the magazine, you will. There's a picture here that says dialing up level 29 BBS using a landline and acoustic modem in the year 2023. How much cooler is that? That's pretty awesome. Okay, so, and I want to thank Matt very much for contributing that article. I know he's a very busy guy. So thanks very much, Matt. It really helped add some excitement to the magazine. It's a lot of work just making this magazine on my own, so it really helps to have people contribute a fantastic article like that. So thanks again, Matt, for that article. Here is the type-in listing for a game that I included with the magazine. And I'm actually quite proud of this game. It started out as intending to be a very simple game, but it ended up being, as you can see here, a 4-page type-in listing. And the game is called Escape from Retro Island. And I'll show some gameplay of that in a moment. And then at the back, like I showed in my first part of the video, we have the puzzle section that you can fill out the puzzles, and then some links to my YouTube videos and other links, and then a little cartoon that I made up. So that is the magazine. Now let's take a look at the cover tape. There you go, Zorlak's Revenge. And as you can see, I tried to recreate the original Fortress of Zorlak packaging as accurately as I could, although this one obviously is for the Mattel Aquarius computer, and it says 32K of RAM. So otherwise, it's pretty much the same as the original Fortress of Zorlak packaging, but of course designed for the Mattel Aquarius computer. Now, I should say that this game, when I tried it on the original Mattel Aquarius computer, it ran a bit slow. So I really recommend, if you're going to play this game, to play it on the new Aquarius Plus computer. I did all my testing on actually the Aquarius Plus emulator while I was developing this game, and it runs best on the Aquarius Plus, either the actual computer if you're lucky enough to have one, or the Aquarius Plus emulator. So here is the game Zorlak's Revenge, and when you open it up, it comes with an SD card, and I know I mentioned in the first part of this video that it was going to be included on a USB stick, but I decided to format it for the Aquarius Plus computer instead because it runs better on the Aquarius Plus, and the Aquarius Plus uses SD cards. So I've decided to put it on an SD card, and you can see that the label of this SD card shows both Zorlak's Revenge as well as Retro Island. So I've included the type-in listing from the magazine on this card as well, in case you don't feel like typing in the program. You can just simply load it off the card. So the Zorlak's Revenge game is for the Aquarius Plus computer, and the Retro Island game is for the ZX Spectrum Next computer, or I think it might actually work on a regular Sinclair Spectrum computer as well. It uses Sinclair Basic, so I think it should probably work on a Sinclair Spectrum, but I haven't actually tried it. But it does work on a ZX Spectrum Next, so if you have this game, you can just put it on your SD card for the ZX Spectrum Next and play it there. So inside the packaging of Zorlak's Revenge, we have a magnet. I made a little magnet of the splash screen for Zorlak's Revenge, as well as we have the instruction sheet for Zorlak's Revenge. and it says it's best played on the Aquarius Plus. You can play it on the regular Mattel Aquarius, but like I said, it's really slow. So I recommend playing it on the Aquarius Plus. These are the instructions for the game, as well as we also have instructions for the type-in listing for the ZX Spectrum Next game, Escape from Retro Island, right there. So this is a kind of cool strategy type of adventure sort of game where it's all text-based. You don't actually type in instructions like a text adventure, but you are trapped on an island and you have to escape. And as you walk around the island, it shows you messages explaining what you're sensing nearby. So it tells you if you have something dangerous nearby, or something deadly nearby, or something good nearby. And what you need to do is wander around the island, find the key to a treasure chest, go and find the treasure chest, open it up, take the treasure from the chest, and give it to the ferry boat captain in order to bribe him to take you off of the island and escape the island. Okay, so that is the cover tape. And now what I'm going to do is, I think I'll switch my screen over and I'll show you some gameplay of the two games that are included on the cover tape. One is Zorlak's Revenge and one is Escape from Retro Island. Okay, so here we are. We're trying Zorlak's Revenge and I'm playing it on the Aquarius Plus emulator here. And you can see it boots up into a fake Sinclair Spectrum boot screen here. It has the copyright sign from Sinclair Spectrum. That's just kind of a fun thing I threw in there. Obviously I'm playing it on an Aquarius Plus, not a Spectrum, but I just threw that in for fun. So let's advance here, and now it brings us to this screen, which looks like a basic program, which again is fake. This is just a static screen, but it looks like it's a program that's written on a Sinclair Spectrum. So when I press a key here, it comes up with a run instruction, although it's not actually running this program. Again, that's just a fake introduction screen just for fun. So you can see what a great job Sean did on this initial splash screen, as well as the graphics in the game as well. So we'll go ahead and press a button here to begin. And here is our menu for Zorlak's Revenge. So here we have some different options. So if we click on the mission briefing here, it gives a story about Zorlak returning and you need to try and defeat him. And here we have just a fun kind of introduction animation to show Zorlak's ship in orbit here. So there's Zorlak's ship here. You need to defeat it. It's just an animation. It's nothing to do with the game other than a fun introductory screen. So we'll press the key to get out. And here we have a difficulty setting you can choose, easy, normal, or hard. And if you want a more advanced difficulty selection option, you can go down here to advanced options, and you can set several different options to choose the difficulty settings. It's a more granular way of choosing the different settings, so you can really decide exactly what options you want to change. And you can change them each individually like this, based on however you like to play your game. In my case, I'm just going to set it to the normal selection, and we'll go ahead and start the battle. And here it says the ship status is fully functional. You get 3 ships you can play with. So every time you lose a ship, your ship gets damaged, and it shows that on this screen here. So I'll go ahead and press the button. And here we are in the game. And we are this spaceship tank looking thing at the bottom. It's automatically firing up at Zorlak, hidden behind his wall of force fields. And the force field rebuilds itself. It takes multiple shots to destroy each brick, and depending on how the game is set up, you can determine how many shots it takes to destroy each brick. And you can see there's 2 different types of projectiles coming down. There's the solid ones that just drop straight down, and those clear ones that look like a copyright symbol, they just kind of wander around the screen. Again, based on the settings, you can determine how much they're going to wander and how far they're going to wander. So what you need to do is try and shoot. Oops, I got hit. So my ship is damaged now. I only have 2 ships left. And once you get hit, the wall gets rebuilt, the force field gets rebuilt. And if you want, you can go up closer to the force field and your shots will be faster, but obviously you're vulnerable up there because you don't know where the projectiles are going to come down. And so what you want to do is try and hit Zorlak. And when you hit him, you're going to get a message showing up on the screen, and hopefully it'll be surprising. So I'm going to stop this now, and let's go take a look at the other game on the cover tape for this magazine. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the second game on the cover tape, which is Escape from Retro Island. And I'm playing this on my ZX Spectrum Next here. And I think it can probably also be played on a regular Sinclair Spectrum, but I'm not sure. I haven't actually tried that. So what we want to do in this game, as you can see, we need to escape from the island. It says, you awaken on a remote island. Find the treasure and bring it to the ferry captain to escape. The treasure is hidden in a locked chest. Find the key. Your head is woozy. Wait a bit. Feeling better now. Press a key. So we need to find a key for the treasure chest, and then we need to find the treasure chest, and then we need to find the ferry boat captain to escape the island. So I'll go ahead and press a key here. And here we go. So you can see here, up here we just have a compass to show which directions we can go, north, south, east, or west. Here is our player character shown with the letter P. And you can see the map legend over on the right here that shows what all the different symbols will mean once we find them. And here our health is 50. So if we lose too much health, or if we run into something that is deadly, then the game is over. So let's see how we do. So all we need to do to play this game is press north, south, east, or west. I'm going to select north, and then you can see there's a little dot on the screen that shows where we've already been, so we know it should be safe to travel over those dots a second time. And we've lost 1 health point. Every time we move, we lose health. So let's maybe try going west. Oh, and it says I hear water. I can't swim. So since this character can't swim, if he runs into water, then he dies. And the water could be either at the edge of the island, because he's on an island, so obviously it's surrounded by water. But there are also pockets of water located on the interior of the island that you can fall into and die. So here we don't know where the water is, but we know it's either north, south, east, or west of this position where the P is shown. We know it's not east because we just came from east because there's a little dot there. So there is water either directly north, west, or south of this position. So let's try going west again. And so we didn't run into any water. So we know that there should be water either directly north or south of this dot right here. So let me try going south here and see if we still detect any water. Okay, so we went south and we're not getting any warning messages about water nearby, so we know that this location should be clear and the water is probably right up here above this dot. So let's go west some more. Oh, and we found a map. So there are some maps hidden in the game as well. And if you run over one by accident, it'll bring up the entire island map for you like this. And then you can use these legend over on the right here to see exactly where everything is, which might make it sound easy because once you see the map, you can see where everything is and you know exactly where to go. But it's easy to forget where things are, so it's not really as easy as it might seem. So here's our character here, the P. And first we need to find a key to unlock the treasure chest. And here's the key right here, as well as the treasure chest is over here indicated by a T. And you can see the other legends on the map will show good things indicated by a G, so the good things give you extra health. Bad things indicated by a B will hurt you but won't kill you. And then there are some deadly things here indicated by a D. So right here, for example, there's a D, which means that's something deadly. If you run into that, you die. So let's see. First, I need to pick up the key. So I'm going to go 3 spaces to the right, and then I'll just head straight up, and I should run into a key. So let's do that. So I'm going to go east 3 spaces, and then the map disappears because I'm no longer over it, but I can see where the map was right there. And I'll keep going east 2 more spaces, And then if I go north, I should run into a key. Oops. You found the key. Okay, go find the treasure chest. And I noticed when I went south, it gave me some other messages. I hear water. I can't swim, so I know there's some water nearby, which will kill me if I fall in. And it says I hear rustling near me, which means there's something dangerous nearby. It won't kill me, but it'll hurt me. So let's go to the west. Oh, and I hit the water, so I drowned. So we can see on the map here where everything was. I just picked up a key for the treasure chest, and I should have gone over here to find the treasure chest. And then after I got to the treasure chest, I needed to go to the ferry boat captain, which is way up here with the letter F. So I didn't quite make it this time, but I can always press a key to try again, just like that, and it'll generate a new map for me. And you can just keep playing over and over again until you escape from the island. So if you want to try out either one of these games, feel free to head over to the itch.io site, spriteworks.itch.io, and you can download both the magazine and the two games. Alright, so that is the Retro Tech News magazine, an overview of it. And if you would like to check out the magazine for yourself, as well as the games on the cover tape, I have them all available for download on my itch.io site, which is spriteworks.itch.io. And when you download it, you get both the PDF version of the magazine, as well as the two games, Zorlak's Revenge and Escape from Retro Island. So there you go. There's an overview of the first issue of Retro Tech News, and possibly the only issue. I'll see. It was a lot of work to produce, so hopefully some people will read it and enjoy it and get some fun out of the games as well. So that's it for today. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.